Have you ever witnessed a digital asset go from total silence to explosive headlines overnight? That feeling, that sudden surge of adrenaline in the market, is exactly where Pi Network might be heading. While many are distracted by the obvious players in crypto, there's an underdog quietly building momentum beneath the surface. Pi Network, often dismissed or underestimated, is showing early signs of a massive turnaround. If you've been watching from the sidelines, this might be the final warning before the rocket takes off. What's unfolding with Pi right now is something seasoned investors don't ignore, and if history repeats itself, those who act late usually end up watching the train disappear from the station. The current state of Pi Network might seem bleak at first glance. The token has dropped significantly over the past month, plunging to around $0.4700, the lowest level it's touched since early April. From its recent peak in May, it has shed over 70% of its value. For casual observers, this may signal weakness. But for those who know how to read between the lines, this could be the exact type of setup that precedes a surge. Technically speaking, Pi's chart is sending powerful signals. Over the last few months, trading volume has thinned out drastically. In May, the volume hovered around 1.26 million, but fast forward to today, and we're barely above 50,000. That steep decline might seem discouraging on the surface, but in technical analysis, such contraction in volume often signals that a major move is building up in the background. This theory is reinforced by indicators like the average true range, ATR, which has dropped to unprecedented lows. That's a red flag for volatility, meaning price swings are minimal, and the market is in a calm phase. Historically, after prolonged periods of low volatility, explosive moves are common. The Bollinger Bands, another widely used volatility indicator, have also narrowed significantly, which typically precedes a breakout. It's known in trading circles as a Bollinger Squeeze, and when that squeeze snaps, the movement is often both sharp and directional. But that's not all. Look closer at the chart and you'll notice the formation of a double bottom pattern near the $0.3945 level. For those unfamiliar, this is a classic bullish reversal signal. It means that the price tried to fall below a support level, failed, bounced back, and then failed again on the second attempt. The neckline for this pattern sits around $1.6622, and if price begins pushing toward that level again, it could unleash a flood of new interest. On top of that, Pi Network is also showing a falling wedge formation. In technical analysis, a falling wedge often appears during periods of market consolidation and is frequently seen before bullish breakouts. The combination of both the double bottom and the falling wedge is rare. And when it happens, the upside potential is often dramatic. Of course, technicals alone don't drive a coin's momentum. What's building behind the scenes at Pi Network could play a far more powerful role in shaping its future price action. One of the major catalysts is the larger macro trend in the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin recently touched new highs this year, and historically, when Bitcoin moves, the rest of the market tends to follow. A bullish wave across the crypto landscape increases investor confidence and brings liquidity back into altcoins. If that trend continues, Pi could be one of the major beneficiaries, especially given its untapped potential. Even more compelling is the fundamental development within the Pi ecosystem. Just recently, the team behind the project unveiled Pi Network Ventures, a staggering $100 million initiative designed to foster growth across its platform. That money isn't just sitting idle. It's being channeled into promising blockchain projects that could anchor the Pi ecosystem and make it far more attractive to both developers and users alike. Another exciting move is the introduction of Pi AI Studio. This tool allows developers to roll out AI-based applications quickly, combining two of the hottest sectors in tech, blockchain and artificial intelligence. According to the latest data, more than 12,000 apps have already been submitted using the platform, a surge in innovation that speaks volumes about the developer interest Pi is attracting. The easier it becomes to build on Pi, the more real-world use cases it generates. And the more use cases, the more utility the token has, which almost always translates to increased demand. Dr. Altcoin, a respected voice in the crypto analyst community, even went so far as to say that Pi Network could be on the path to becoming one of the largest players in the industry. That's not just hyperbole. With infrastructure rapidly improving, community engagement climbing, and new tools accelerating adoption, the foundation is being laid brick by brick for something monumental. Another crucial element that could send Pi soaring is an exchange listing. Currently, Pi is not fully integrated on major platforms like Binance, Coinbase, or Upbit. But speculation is building that such a listing could be on the horizon. If it happens, not only would it validate the project's legitimacy in the eyes of skeptics, but it would also create a liquidity shock. Massive buying pressure could come in all at once, and if short sellers are caught off guard, a short squeeze could follow, driving the price up in a matter of hours or days. Still, it's important to acknowledge the risks. The bullish forecast remains valid as long as the price stays above the $0.3945 support line. A decisive drop below that level could signal more downside before any recovery begins. But as long as the current patterns hold, the momentum appears to be quietly building. In a market where speculation is often driven by emotion and hype, Pi Network is showing something far more grounded, strong fundamentals, promising technical setups, and a clear roadmap of development. The current price action might feel underwhelming, but what's happening beneath the surface tells a different story. If the broader crypto market remains favorable and Pi continues delivering on its promises, the next few weeks could mark a turning point. The surge may not come with loud fanfare, but when it starts, it could be fast, powerful, and potentially game-changing for early believers. So the question isn't whether Pi Network will rise again, the real question is, will you still be waiting when it does?